Severe MMA, we're here at Bellator Birmingham, and we're alongside the returning, after a longer time than I care to count, Saul Rogers. Now, your first opponent is a former world title contender in another organization. You had two long years off. This was a dangerous fight to take.
Yeah.
First off, was there any doubt that you were going to walk in with an opponent like Aiden Lee in your first fight back in 2 years?
Well, you know what? I didn't care. I've been out and I've been inactive for so long. It got to a point where I wasn't fighting. I started calling all the top guys in Bellator, you know. And they're probably watching this fight now, and they're going to be online trying to call me out, thinking that was a shit performance. And no one kind of feels that more than me. But it didn't matter who Bellator gave me. I asked Bellator, they threw this name to me. I said, yeah. Even before I knew who Aiden Lee was, I didn't check him out. I was like, give me that fight. I come to realise he's fought 6 times in the last 2 years. He's fought for the Cage Warriors world title. But I knew my skill, I knew my ability. I mean, it was a dominating performance. I dominated the fight. I think like the only problem in that fight was due to me being inactive. I couldn't kind of let the shots off like I wanted to let off. I mean, you can spar with the best guys in the world. You can go to the best gyms in the world, but the only substitute for fighting is fighting. So to be able to come in, first time in a big show in a long time, first time in front of a big show like this in a long time, dominate a guy like that, a tough guy like that as well, win every single round. I'm being a little critical of myself, but yeah, it was a good performance. It's all business.
We've heard Manchester. We also know that you want in that featherweight tournament that they're looking at. You know, is this a performance that's going to get you there, or do you need one more, or does the past speak for itself as well?
Do you know what? Although that wasn't an amazing performance, it was a dominating performance. I dare anybody else who's been inactive for 2 years to come and fight a guy with that experience, just fought for the world title, fought 6 times in the time I've been out, and still dominate the fight. I mean, I was like a rabbit in the headlights a little bit in that fight, and after that fight I was on like a crazy high. Like I said, there's no substitute for fighting. Even if I didn't do this fight tonight, I shouldn't have to protest my claim for that tournament. You know what I mean? Everyone knows, anyone who knows MMA knows what I'm about, knows what I'm capable of. And like I say, I dare anyone else to come out of the game after 2 years off, fight a guy like that, fight a guy who's just come off a world title and dominate him start to finish. So, bittersweet, but it is what it is. This is just a start for me. This is my rebirth, believe you me.
Before, perhaps 2 years ago, you know, during that tough run where you looked like the world beater that you feel you are, was it hard to get that motivation back after 2 years of frustration? Like how did you stay hungry? How did you want to keep getting back in that cage?
Do you know what? After my ups and downs, I went through phases. You know, 1 minute I'm up, 1 minute I'm down. But one thing I've never done in the 2 years off, I've never threw in the towel. I've never quit, and there's never been a week I've not been in the gym. I mean, the times when I felt shit and I felt like giving it up, I've got my best mate here, like who's been on point and kind of keeps me there. So it's like if I ever wanted to kind of throw in the towel, I've got such a good network of people around me that it'd be impossible for me to do it. So the hunger turned into a little bit of frustration when I was struggling to get a fight. I mean, I was online calling out all the big boys in Bellator, probably watching this now and all want my blood after that performance. But like I say, I'm hungry, I'm motivated. I dominated a guy after 2 years out of the game, so you know what I'm going to do on my next fight. I'm going to dominate whoever they put me in front of.
Am I talking to a future Bellator featherweight world champion?
100%. People might look at that performance and think I'm talking shit, but if you know me, you know MMA, you know what I'm capable of, and you know how long I've been out, and you know the stresses I've been facing, you know that is a guy in there not to be messed with. And within 2 years, I'll have that belt wrapped around my waist. I should be in that Bellator featherweight tournament. I shouldn't even have to stake my claim. This is my time now.
Saul business, and we might be talking to the champ in waiting. Saul, thank you so much for your time. Always a pleasure.